Asterisk that night, my phone lit up with a message that ripped my world apart. Your daughter's gone. Don't bother calling. No explanation. No warning. Just cruelty packed into 10 words. I dropped the phone, my legs giving out as if the floor had betrayed me. I screamed, but nobody came. Nobody cared. That's how the nightmare began. My name is Jordan Keller. I never thought life could hollow me out in one brutal instant, but it did. And it wasn't just the message. It was who sent it. My ex-wife, Amanda, the mother of my little girl. Let me back up. My daughter, Ellie, was 7. Bright as the sun. She loved drawing rainbows on every scrap of paper she could find. She believed in magic, in happy endings, and wishes whispered before bed. She believed in me. Amanda didn't. After the divorce, she made it clear I wasn't good enough. Not as a husband. Not as a father. She moved in with her new boyfriend, the type of guy who thought money excused arrogance. I swallowed my pride for Ellie. I visited when I could. I stretched my paycheck from working construction to buy her sketchbooks, markers, glitter pens, anything that made her eyes light up. But lately, Amanda had been colder. Calls unanswered. Visits canceled at the last second. Ellie's laughter on FaceTime replaced with static silence. I thought maybe she was busy. Maybe life just got messy. I was wrong. That night, after the message, I called until my hands cramped. No answer. I drove across town like a madman, headlights cutting through rain. Her house looked dark, quiet. My gut twisted. I pounded on the door. No response. Just the echo of my fists. Neighbors peeked through curtains, but nobody opened their door. Nobody wanted to get involved. The next morning, Amanda finally called. Her voice was sharp, smug. Ellie doesn't need you anymore, Jordan. You're nothing but dead weight. She's happier without you. I felt the world tilt. Happier without me. My little girl, who used to run into my arms like I was her whole world. I knew Amanda was manipulative, but this was different. This was vicious. Days blurred into weeks. My calls went straight to voicemail. My texts unanswered. I went to her school only to be told Amanda had withdrawn her. Transferred out. The secretary muttered, eyes flicking away like she didn't want trouble. I demanded answers. Nothing. I reported it to the police. Custody dispute, they said. Not a kidnapping. As if my daughter's sudden disappearance was just paperwork. As if a father's panic was nothing but noise. I didn't sleep. I barely ate. I sat in my one-bedroom apartment surrounded by Ellie's drawings, her little sneakers still by the door, her stuffed unicorn slumped on the couch like it was waiting for her. I felt myself unraveling. One night, I grabbed a bottle of whiskey and sat on the bathroom floor. I thought about ending it. If Ellie was really gone, if I'd failed her this completely, what was left? But then just as the thought tightened its grip, there was a sound. A knock. 3 sharp raps against the door. I froze. Nobody ever knocked at that hour. My neighbors avoided me. Friends had disappeared. My family had written me off years ago. Who could it be? I dragged myself up, my head spinning, and opened the door. On the other side stood a woman I'd never seen before. Mid-30s, drenched from the storm, clutching a folder so tightly her knuckles were white. Her eyes locked onto mine with urgency. Are you Jordan Keller? She asked. My throat tightened. Yeah. Who are you? She glanced past me, into the dim apartment, then back at me. My name's Rachel. And I think I know where your daughter is. Her words slammed into me harder than Amanda's message ever had. Asterisk. I stared at her, rain dripping from her hair onto the worn folder in her arms. My first instinct was to slam the door. People don't just show up at midnight claiming they know where your missing kid is. But there was something in her eyes, not pity, not judgment, urgency. Like she had seconds to get this out before it destroyed her. Come in, I said, my voice shaking. She stepped inside, water pooling around her shoes, and set the folder on my coffee table. My heart hammered as I watched her flip it open. Inside were documents, photos, records, a school enrollment form, a medical chart. I work at a private clinic, she said quickly. Amanda brought Ellie in 3 months ago. She listed a different last name, claimed Ellie was her stepdaughter. But I knew it wasn't right. The way Ellie clung to her sketchbook, the way she whispered your name when she thought nobody was listening, my knees nearly gave out. She said my name. Rachel nodded. She told me her daddy was looking for her, that you'd find her. I wanted to contact you sooner, but her voice cracked. Amanda threatened me, said if I interfered, she'd ruin me. And I believe her. She has money, lawyers, connections. The room tilted. Rage surged through me like fire in my veins. Amanda wasn't just keeping my daughter from me, she was erasing me. Lying to strangers. Rewriting Ellie's life. Where is she now? I demanded. Rachel swallowed hard. That's the problem. They vanished 2 weeks ago. She pulled Ellie out of the clinic and disappeared. But I think she slid a photo across the table. It was grainy, taken on a phone. Amanda's new boyfriend standing next to a black SUV. And behind him, barely visible, Ellie's tiny face pressed against the window. I grabbed the photo, my hands trembling. When was this? 14 days ago. Outside a property upstate. I wrote down the address. She handed me a crumpled slip of paper. I don't know if they're still there, but it's the only lead I have. My vision blurred with fury. Amanda hadn't just cut me out, she'd taken Ellie off the grid, changed her name, isolated her. Like I was dead already. Rachel touched my arm. I shouldn't be here. If anyone finds out I came, I could lose everything. But I couldn't stay quiet. That little girl, she adores you. She needs you. I couldn't breathe. For months, everyone had told me I was overreacting, that it was just a custody fight, that I needed to calm down. And now, this stranger was confirming my worst nightmare. Ellie wasn't safe. I wanted to drive to that address right then, storm the place, rip my daughter out of Amanda's arms. But Rachel grabbed my wrist. Don't be reckless. If she sees you coming, she'll run again. And this time, she might disappear for good. Her words stopped me cold. She was right. Amanda thrived on control. The second she felt cornered, she'd vanish with Ellie, leaving nothing but silence behind. I sank onto the couch, clutching the photo like it was oxygen. So what do I do? Rachel hesitated, then leaned closer. You find proof. Enough to make the police take you seriously. Custody papers, witnesses, anything that shows Amanda is violating the law. Once you have that, you can force their hand. Her voice dropped lower. And Jordan, watch your back. Amanda's boyfriend. He's not just arrogant. He's dangerous. The way she said it made my stomach twist. Dangerous how? Rachel's eyes flicked to the window as if someone might be listening. I heard rumors. That, shady deals. People who make threats when they don't get paid. The kind of men who don't care if a child gets caught in the crossfire. A chill ran down my spine. Ollie wasn't just being hidden. She was living in the middle of something toxic, maybe even violent. Before I could respond, there was another sound. A sharp rap at the door. 3 knocks. Just like before. Rachel's face drained of color. Were you expecting someone? I shook my head. My chest tightened as the knocking grew louder. Whoever it was, they weren't leaving. Rachel shoved the folder back into her bag, eyes wide. Don't open it, she whispered. But it was too late. The door handle turned slowly, like someone testing it from the outside. And then, the handle twisted again. My stomach dropped. Rachel grabbed my arm, whispering, "Don't," but I was already moving. I yanked the door open. 2 men stood there. Broad shoulders, rain dripping off their jackets, eyes sharp and unwelcoming. One held a folded envelope. The other just stared at me like I was something he needed to scrape off his boots. Jordan Keller. The first one asked. Yes, I answered, forcing my voice steady. He shoved the envelope into my chest. Consider yourself served. Then they turned, walking away without another word. No car in sight. Just their silhouettes fading into the storm. I shut the door, my hands trembling. Rachel hovered near the couch, pale and tense. I ripped the envelope open. Inside was a single sheet of paper. My breath caught. Amanda had filed for full termination of my parental rights. Not shared custody. Not restrictions, termination. Erasing me legally the same way she was trying to erase me from Ellie's life. My chest burned. My hands shook so violently I nearly tore the paper. I could hear Amanda's voice in my head, smug and cutting. Ellie doesn't need you. You're nothing, Rachel whispered. She's trying to bury you alive. I sank onto the couch, the document crumpling in my fists. For months I'd been begging for help. Cops, lawyers, even my own family. Nobody listened. And now Amanda was making her move. I wanted to scream, but the words caught in my throat. Instead, I slammed my fist against the table. She can't do this. She can't take Ellie away from me. Rachel leaned closer, urgent. Then you fight. Harder than ever. She's counting on you breaking down. Don't give her the satisfaction. But the fight already felt impossible. My savings were gone from months of legal fees. My job was hanging by a thread because of missed shifts. And my daughter. My daughter was out there somewhere, whispering my name, waiting for me to come. I buried my face in my hands. I don't have anything left. Rachel's voice softened. You have her, Ellie, and that's enough. Before I could respond, a sound cut through the room. A high-pitched chime. My phone, buzzing on the table. A known number. I hesitated, then answered. Hello, static. Then a faint voice, small, fragile. Daddy. My heart stopped. Ellie. Daddy, I miss you, she whispered. Her voice trembled. Mommy says I can't talk to you anymore. But I found her phone. I just wanted to hear you. Tears blurred my vision. I pressed the phone harder to my ear. Baby, I'm here. I'll always be here. Where are you? Can you tell me where you are? Before she could answer, a muffled shout echoed in the background. Amanda's voice, sharp and furious. What are you doing? The line went dead. I screamed into the silence. Allie. The word tore out of me like it was breaking my lungs. Rachel covered her mouth, her eyes wide with shock. She called you. That means she's close. She's desperate. I couldn't sit still. I paced the room like a caged animal, fists clenched. I swear to God, I'll get her back. I don't care what it takes. Rachel nodded, gripping her bag tighter. Then we moved fast. We gather proof. We hit Amanda where it hurts. You can't wait anymore. The storm outside raged harder, lightning flashing through the window. My world felt like it was collapsing and catching fire all at once. But beneath the fear, the grief, and the rage, something else rose inside me. Resolved. Amanda thought she had buried me. Thought she could erase me with lawyers, threats, and lies. But Ellie's voice, tiny, terrified, but still reaching for me, ignited something I thought I'd lost. A father's fight. I turned to Rachel, my voice low but steady. We go after her. Now, before it's too late. And for the first time in months, I felt like I wasn't broken anymore. I was ready for war. Asterisk. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard Ellie's tiny voice on the phone. Daddy, I miss you. The way it cracked when Amanda yanked the phone away. I kept replaying it until I thought I'd lose my mind. By morning, I was running on adrenaline. Rachel sat at my kitchen table, hair pulled back, spreading papers across the surface like battle plans, photos, accords, notes she had scribbled late into the night. First thing, she said firmly, we go to the property upstate, the one where that SUV was spotted. If Amanda's still there, we need to see it with our own eyes. I shook my head. If I show up, she'll just run again. Rachel leaned closer. Then we don't let her see you. We watch. We document. We catch her in the act. It made sense. And I didn't care if it didn't. I'd already lost too much time. I grabbed my keys. Let's go. The drive was tense. Hours of winding highways and storm-dark skies. I gripped the wheel so hard my knuckles ached. Rachel sat beside me, reading and rereading the slip of paper with the address. Neither of us spoke much. What could we say? Every mile felt like I was chasing Ellie's ghost. When we finally pulled onto a narrow dirt road, my heart slammed against my ribs. The property was set back in the woods. Old farmhouse, sagging porch. And there, parked in the driveway like a black shadow, was the SUV from the photo. Rachel's hand flew to her mouth. That's it. I killed the engine. We sat in silence, listening to the tick of cooling metal. My pulse thundered in my ears. She's here. We watched for what felt like hours, though it was barely 20 minutes. Then movement. The front door opened. Amanda stepped out, sunglasses on despite the clouds, her hand gripping Ellie's arm too tightly. My breath caught. Ellie, my little girl. Her hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, her eyes darting nervously around. She looked thinner, paler, but she was alive. I almost threw the door open, but Rachel's hand clamped onto my wrist. Don't, not yet. Amanda ushered Ellie into the SUV. That man, her boyfriend, appeared next, carrying boxes. He barked something I couldn't hear, shoving the trunk closed. Then they climbed in and pulled away, tires spitting gravel. Follow them, Rachel whispered. I started the engine, keeping distance as we trailed the SUV down back roads, my heart hammering every time we rounded a bend. Ollie was right there, just a few car lengths ahead. After half an hour, they pulled into a strip mall parking lot. Amanda and the boyfriend went into a pharmacy, leaving Ellie in the back seat, alone. This was it, my moment. I parked across the lot, chest heaving. Rachel grabbed my arm again. Jordan, think. If you grab her now, they'll call the cops. They'll twist it as kidnapping. I looked at Rachel like she'd lost her mind. She's my daughter. She called me. She wants out. Rachel's voice trembled, but she held her ground. Then do it right. Get proof, photos, videos, something no lawyer can spin against you. My hands shook as I pulled out my phone. I zoomed in and snapped photo after photo. Ellie's face pressed against the glass. Amanda's boyfriend hauling suspicious bags from the pharmacy. My chest burned with every click, but I forced myself to keep going. Then something happened that snapped my restraint. Ellie spotted me. Her eyes widened, recognition sparking like lightning. She pressed her hand against the window. Her lips moved. Daddy. I couldn't stay still. I dropped the phone and bolted from the car. Jordan. Rachel hissed, but I was already sprinting across the lot. I reached the SUV and yanked the door. Locked. Ollie's face lit up anyway, tears streaming down her cheeks as she mouthed my name again. And then I heard it. Amanda's voice. What the hell do you think you're doing? She stormed across the parking lot, boyfriend at her side. He was bigger up close, meaner, his fists clenched like he was ready to make me bleed right there. I planted myself by the SUV, my hand pressed against the window near Ellie's. My voice shook but stayed steady enough. You can't hide her from me anymore. This ends now. Amanda sneered. You're pathetic, Jordan. Always were. Walk away before you embarrass yourself again. Her boyfriend stepped closer, towering over me. Or before you get hurt. Rachel had jumped out of the car by then, phone raised, recording every second. Try it, she shouted. Lay a hand on him and I'll make sure the world sees exactly what you're doing. The boyfriend froze, glaring at the camera. Amanda's face twisted with rage. Ellie sobbed inside the SUV, her little fists pounding on the window, and in that chaos screaming threats. The storm building above us, I realized something. This wasn't just a fight for custody anymore. It was survival. Asterisk. The shouting in that parking lot drew ice fast. Shoppers froze mid-step, phones raised. Amanda cursed, trying to drag Ellie's hand from the window. Her boyfriend puffed up like a bull ready to charge. And me. I stood there shaking, half from fear, half from the fire in my chest. Then the sirens came. Red and blue lights cut across the asphalt, screeching to a stop. 2 squad cars. Doors slammed. Officers spilled out, hands hovering over holsters. Step away from the vehicle. One barked out. Amanda spun on her heel, crocodile tears spilling instantly. Thank God you're here. He's harassing us. He tried to grab my daughter. Her boyfriend nodded, voice booming with fake outrage. This guy's unstable. He's been stalking us for weeks. My blood boiled. That's my daughter. She called me last night. She begged for help. The officer's gaze flicked between us, skeptical. Sir, calm down. Let's see some ID. Rachel rushed forward, phone still recording. We have proof. Photos. Documents. He's the father. She's lying to you. But Amanda was already pulling papers from her purse, shoving them into the officer's hands. Court order. I have full custody. He's not allowed near her. I snatched the paper. My stomach dropped. It looked official. Signed. Stamped. Termination of parental rights, exactly what I'd been served the night before. No, I muttered, shaking my head. This isn't real. It can't be processed that fast. Amanda smirked. Money makes things move quicker, Jordan. Something you'll never understand. The officer stiffened. Sir, we need you to step back. Now. Panic clawed at my chest. If I backed down, Ollie would vanish again. Maybe forever. And she knew it. Her little hands beat the window, her voice muffled but desperate. Daddy, don't go. Everything inside me snapped. You hear that? I roared, pointing at the SUV. She's begging for me. That's not a piece of paper, that's my child. Rachel shoved her phone into the officer's face. Look at this. Medical records. Enrollment forms. Proof Amanda's been lying under different names. The officer hesitated, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. The second one leaned in, whispering something urgent. Amanda's smile faltered, then chaos erupted. Her boyfriend lunged, trying to rip Rachel's phone away. She screamed, holding on tight. The officers dove between them, shoving him back. Ellie shrieked inside the car, her fists hammering the glass. I couldn't take it anymore. I yanked at the door again, still locked. My fists pounded the window until my knuckles bled. Ellie, I'm right here. And then one officer shouted, unlock the car, ma'am, now. Amanda's mask cracked. She froze, hands trembling on the keys. This is ridiculous. He's dangerous. I won't unlock it, or we'll do it for you. For the first time, she wavered. Her boyfriend snarled, but the officers squared up, hands on their weapons. Finally, Amanda hit the button. The locks clicked. I yanked the door open and pulled Ellie into my arms. She clung to me so tight I could barely breathe, sobbing into my neck. Daddy, don't let go. Please don't let go. My world stopped spinning. For the first time in months, she was in my arms again, warm, alive, real. But it wasn't over. Amanda screamed like a banshee. This isn't fair. He doesn't deserve her. She lunged, nails out, but an officer caught her mid-swing. Her boyfriend cursed, tried to shove past them, and got slammed against the hood with cuffs snapping tight. The parking lot was chaos, sirens shouting, Ellie crying into my shirt, Rachel clutching her phone like a weapon, and me, holding onto my daughter like if I loosened my grip even slightly, the world would rip her away again. An officer finally spoke over the noise. We're taking this to the station. Both sides. We'll sort this out in front of a judge, Amanda shrieked. Her boyfriend spat curses. But I didn't care. Because no matter what happened next, one truth burned through me like fire. They hadn't broken me. And I wasn't letting go. Asterisk. The courthouse felt like a cage. Every echo of footsteps, every slam of doors rattled inside me. I sat at the wooden table, Allie's tiny hand wrapped around mine. She wouldn't let go, even when the bailiff told her she should sit with a court aide. No, she whispered fiercely, I'm staying with Daddy. Rachel sat behind me, a stack of documents in her lap. She caught my eye and nodded. She had risked everything to get us here, and I owed her more than I could ever say. Across the room, Amanda walked in like she owned the world. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, lips curved into that smug smile I had known too well. Her boyfriend followed, cuffs gone but swagger intact, his eyes full of venom. When the judge entered, silence fell heavy. Papers shuffled. The air hummed with tension. Amanda's lawyer spoke first, spinning tales about my instability, my history of harassment, how I was unfit to parent. Amanda dabbed fake tears with a tissue, shaking her head like she was the victim, every word cut like glass. I wanted to scream, but then the judge turned to me. Mr. Keller, you may respond. I stood, my hands trembling but my voice clear. Your Honor, I am not perfect. I am a man who works with his hands, who struggles to pay rent, who has made mistakes. But I am a father, and my daughter knows the truth. She knows who fought for her, and who tried to erase me. I motioned to Rachel, who stepped forward, placing documents on the judge's desk. Enrollment forms under fake names, medical records, even the video from the parking lot where Ellie cried my name. The judge's brow furrowed. He leaned closer, lips tightening. Then he turned to Amanda. How do you explain this? Amanda stammered, her composure cracking. Those records are doctored. He's lying. He manipulated that nurse. Rachel's voice rang out, calm but sharp. I have nothing to gain, Your Honor, except doing what's right for that little girl. The boyfriend shot up, slamming his fists on the table. This is garbage. You don't know who you're messing with. Sit down. The judge thundered. The bailiff was already moving. Amanda's mask slipped completely. She lunged to her feet, pointing at me, her voice shrieking through the room. He doesn't deserve her. He never did. Ellie is mine. And then Ellie did the bravest thing I've ever seen. She stood, her small frame shaking, but her voice loud enough to silence the room. No, I'm his. Daddy's. And I'm not afraid to say it anymore. Gasps rippled through the courtroom. My knees buckled, fears burning my eyes. I wanted to scoop her into my arms and never let go. The judge's gavel slammed. Enough. I've heard enough. His voice was steel. Mr. Keller, custody is hereby restored. Effective immediately. Mrs. Carter, your petition to terminate parental rights is denied, and your conduct will be reviewed for potential criminal charges. Amanda screamed. A feral sound, as officers closed in around her. Her boyfriend cursed, but when the cuffs snapped back on his wrists, his bravado died instantly. I sank into my chair, Allie climbing into my lap, her arms around my neck. The courtroom blurred as relief crashed through me like a tidal wave, but just as I thought it was over, just as I thought I could breathe again, another voice echoed from the back of the room. Your Honor, it said, calm and deliberate. Everyone turned. A man stepped forward, tall, neatly dressed, holding a slim black folder. His presence cut through the chaos like a blade. I represent the state. We've been investigating Mr. Carter. He nodded at Amanda's boyfriend for months. Fraud, trafficking, debts tied to dangerous people. And now, thanks to this evidence, we have grounds to believe Mrs. Carter was an accomplice. Amanda froze, her face straining of color. The boyfriend's eyes darted, wild, like a trapped animal. The man placed the folder on the judge's desk. We're issuing indictments. Effective immediately. The room erupted. Reporters shouted. Officers swarmed. Amanda's screams turned from rage to panic. The boyfriend tried to bolt but was slammed into the floor. Through it all, I held Ellie, my daughter, my world. The judge's gavel pounded again and again, but I barely heard it. Ellie whispered against my ear, her voice trembling but sure. We're safe now, Daddy. We're really safe. For the first time in months, I believed her. I looked up, catching Rachel's eyes across the room. She was crying, but smiling. And in that moment, I understood something I would carry for the rest of my life. The fight had broken me. Betrayal had shredded me. But love had stitched me back together in ways I never thought possible. We walked out of that courthouse into blinding sunlight, Allie clutching my hand, Rachel at my side. Cameras flashed. Voices called out questions. But all I heard was my daughter's laughter. And I knew, finally, this was our beginning. Asterisk. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought? Or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next adventure. Asterisk.